The rain-slicked streets of Manhattan gleamed like shattered glass under the relentless downpour, but inside the glass tower of Apex Ventures, Addison Harper's world was a fortress of steel resolve. She stared down the conference table at the pitch unfolding before her, a bold proposal from a scrappy upstart firm called Horizon Edge, led by some unknown hotshot named Jordan Hayes. Addison's finger hovered over the reject button on her tablet, her heart pounding not from nerves, but from the echo of a voice she swore she'd buried years ago. In that split second, as thunder cracked outside, she slammed the button. No second chances. Not for ghosts from her past. Addison leaned back in her ergonomic chair, the leather creaking like a confession she refused to make. At 35, she was the youngest VP of acquisitions at Apex, a title earned through nights blurred into dawns, deals sealed with handshakes that felt like warfare. Her office overlooked Times Square, a chaotic symphony of neon and ambition that mirrored her own life, bright, unyielding, and utterly alone. Colleagues whispered she was ice incarnate, a woman who turned dreams to dust with a single arched brow. But they didn't know the fracture lines beneath, the way her pulse raced at the sight of a certain profile photo, or how she'd built these walls brick by brick after a love that had scorched her soul. That photo had haunted her for 8 years. Jordan Hayes, with her effortless grin and eyes like smoked whiskey, had been the one who got away, or rather, the one Addison had pushed away. It was college, a stolen summer in the Hamptons, where salt air and stolen kisses had promised forever. But forever crumbled under the weight of Addison's fears. Her family's conservative shadow in Boston, the cutthroat path to partnership that demanded perfection, no distractions. She'd ended it abruptly, a phone call from a payphone that tasted like betrayal. "We can't," she'd said, voice cracking like thin ice. Jordan had gone silent, then hung up, vanishing into the ether of young dreams deferred. Now, here was Horizon Edge's pitch. Innovative green tech for urban renewal, a portfolio that screamed potential. Addison had skimmed it weeks ago, her stomach twisting at the lead signatory's name. Jordan. Of all the names in New York, it had to be hers. The presentation droned on via video link, a junior exec fumbling slides, but Addison's mind replayed fragments, laughter echoing on a beach at midnight, fingers tangled in sheets, the soft press of lips that made the world fade. She shook it off, focusing on the flaws, the projections too optimistic, the timeline aggressive. Legitimate critiques, she told herself. Not personal. "Ms. Harper." The junior's voice pulled her back. "Any questions?" Addison's lips curved into her signature smile, sharp as a stiletto. "Only one. Why should Apex bet on unproven vision when we've got proven execution?" The room went still, pixels freezing on the screen. She ended the call before they could plead, her reflection in the window a ghost of composure. Rejection sent, deal dead. Simple as that. But simplicity was a lie Addison told herself. That night, in her sleek Upper East Side apartment, the kind with exposed brick and skyline views that cost a fortune in solitude, she poured a glass of Cabernet and scrolled through old emails. One from Jordan, timestamped July 2017. "I get it. But don't think this erases us." Addison's thumb hovered, then deleted the thread. Again, sleep came fitful, dreams laced with what-ifs, Jordan's hand in hers at a gala, their shared empire rising from the ashes of lost time. Morning brought boardroom buzz. Apex was merging with a powerhouse, Vanguard Corp., a Silicon Valley giant dipping toes into East Coast real estate. The new CEO? A mystery woman handpicked by the board, set to be unveiled at the quarterly summit. Addison prepped her reports, burying the Horizon rejection under layers of data. Her assistant, Mia, a sharp-witted queer woman who'd become her reluctant confidant, slid a coffee across the desk. "Rough night? You look like you wrestled a bear." "Worse," Addison muttered, sipping the bitter brew. "Old wounds reopening." Mia's eyes softened. "The pitch? I saw the name. Want me to?" "No." Addison cut her off, sharper than intended. It's handled. By noon, the summit hall thrummed with power suits and forced laughter. Crystal chandeliers cast prisms on marble floors, the air thick with cologne and ambition. Addison networked on autopilot, her black sheath dress hugging curves honed by spin classes and suppressed longing. Then the CEO took the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the moderator boomed, Vanguard's new visionary leader, Jordan Hayes. The room erupted. Addison's champagne flute slipped, shattering on the floor like her defenses. There she was, Jordan, transformed yet achingly familiar. 32 now, her dark waves pinned in a professional chignon, hazel eyes scanning the crowd with the poise of someone who'd conquered valleys. The tailored emerald suit accentuated her lithe frame, a power move that screamed unapologetic. She spoke of synergy, innovation, bridges between coasts. But her gaze locked on Addison's, a flicker of recognition that hit like lightning. Applause thundered. Jordan descended, handshakes flowing. Addison melted into the crowd, heart hammering.
How?
Horizon Edge was her firm, small bootstrapped. Vanguard? A behemoth. The pieces clicked. Acquisition whispers, a hostile takeover she'd ignored. Addison Harper. Jordan's voice was velvet over steel, materializing beside her at the bar. Up close, she smelled of sandalwood and resolve, the same scent that had lingered on Addison's pillows a lifetime ago. Congratulations, Addison managed, voice steady despite the tremor in her chest. Didn't expect this. Jordan's smile didn't reach her eyes. Life's full of surprises, like rejecting a deal that could have changed everything. The barb landed. Addison's jaw tightened. Business decisions, Jordan. Not personal. Isn't it? Jordan leaned in, breath warm against her ear. You always were good at lines. The air crackled, charged with 8 years of unsaid words. Around them, executives chattered, oblivious. Addison's mind raced. The pitch, the button, the finality. She'd killed Horizon's momentum, unknowingly paving Jordan's path to this throne. Guilt twisted like a knife. I should, Addison started, but Jordan's hand on her arm stopped her. Dinner. Tomorrow. Neutral ground.
We talk.
Or we don't. Your call. Addison nodded, the word escaping before pride could cage it.
8.
Gramercy Tavern. As Jordan walked away, swallowed by admirers, Addison exhaled. The summit blurred into toasts and small talk, but her world had tilted.
What now?
Apology? Explanation? Or the pull she'd fought so hard to ignore, the magnetic draw of the woman who'd once been her everything. That night, alone with city lights bleeding through blinds, Addison replayed the encounter. Jordan's eyes, holding storms she recognized. The touch, electric. She opened her laptop, pulling up Vanguard's press release. There it was, Jordan Hayes, former founder of Horizon Edge, acquired and elevated in a move hailed as genius. Addison's rejection? A catalyst, forcing Jordan to pivot, to conquer. Sleep evaded her. Instead, memories flooded. Their first kiss under Hampton stars, tentative and world-altering. Lazy Sundays in Jordan's cramped Brooklyn walk-up, debating futures over pancakes. The fight that ended it. Addison's tears soaking Jordan's shirt as she whispered, I can't be who you need. Lies all of it. Fear, not truth. Dawn crept in, gray and unforgiving. Addison dressed for war. Crimson blouse under a charcoal blazer, heels that clicked like countdowns. Gramercy Tavern buzzed with the lunch crowd, but their corner booth felt like a confessional. Jordan arrived punctual, shedding her coat to reveal a simple white tee and jeans, casual armor that made Addison's breath hitch. You came, Jordan said, sliding into the seat. No preamble. Curiosity. Addison signaled a waiter, ordering oysters and wine to buy time. And accountability. Jordan arched a brow, echoing Addison's boardroom tick. For killing my pitch. Addison winced. It was flawed. Overly ambitious. Bullshit. Jordan's voice softened, not accusing, but raw. You saw my name and panicked, just like before. The wine arrived, deep red like old blood. Addison swirled her glass, buying seconds. I was protecting us both. You deserved more than my chaos. Jordan laughed, bittersweet. Chaos? You were my anchor. Until you weren't. Words hung heavy, oysters forgotten. Addison traced the stem of her glass, vulnerability creeping in. I was scared, Jordan. My father, his expectations, the firm. Being out, being us. It felt like surrender. And now? Jordan's gaze pinned her, searching, still hiding. The question gutted. Addison thought of her life. Promotions, yes. Connections, superficial. Love, a drought. Trying not to. Dessert brought truce. Shared tiramisu. Forks clinking like tentative bridges. Stories spilled. Jordan's grind post-breakup, building horizon from a garage. Addison's climbs, lonely rungs. Laughter edged in, fragile but real, when Jordan recounted a botched investor meeting involving spilled coffee and a rescue puppy. By Bill's end, the air had shifted. This merger, Jordan said, signing the check with flourish. Your team's integral. But I need to know, can we work together? Without the past choking us. Addison met her eyes, pulse sinking to the city's hum outside. Let's find out. They parted with a handshake that lingered, fingers brushing knuckles. Addison walked home through crisp fall air, leaves crunching underfoot like brittle regrets. Her phone buzzed. Mia. Spill. Was it closure or fire? Both. Addison texted back, a smile ghosting her lips. Fire, definitely. Weeks blurred into merger madness. Apex and Vanguard meshed like oil and water, but Jordan's leadership, decisive, inclusive, smoothed edges. Addison found excuses for late nights, strategy sessions in Jordan's temporary suite overlooking Central Park, where blueprints spread like love letters across tables. One evening, thunder rumbled again, echoing that fateful pitch. Rain lashed windows as they poured over contracts. Jordan stretched, sleeves riding up to reveal a tattoo. A compass rose, inked post-Hamptons. Direction, she explained softly. After you. Addison's throat tightened. I'm sorry, Jordan. For then. For the deal. Jordan capped her pen, turning fully. Apology accepted. But words aren't enough. The room shrank, charged. Addison stood, closing distance. What is? Jordan's hand cupped her cheek, thumb tracing jawline. This. Their kiss ignited slow, then fierce, years compressed into lips and breaths. Addison tasted salt, regret, home. Hands roamed, mapping changes. Jordan's stronger shoulders from climbing corporate peaks, Addison's softer edges from guarded isolation. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. Not here, Jordan murmured. Not like this. Addison nodded, heart soaring. Your place? Brooklyn welcomed them, Jordan's loft a haven of exposed beams and city views. Clothes shed like old skins, they tumbled into bed, rediscovering rhythms long silenced. Jordan's touch was patient fire, drawing confessions from Addison's skin, whispers of missed anniversaries, dreams deferred. In the afterglow, tangled in sheets, Jordan traced Addison's collarbone. No more running. Promise. Addison breathed, meaning it. But dawn brought reality. Whispers in halls. The ice queen thawing. Jordan fielded bored queries on distractions. Tension simmered. A leaked email chain questioning Jordan's Horizon acquisition, fingers pointing at Addison's rejection as sabotage. Paranoia festered. The crisis peaked at a high-stakes gala, black tie affair at the Met. Addison glided in silk emerald, Jordan's color, arm linked with Mia for cover. Jordan shone across the room, charming donors, but her eyes sought Addison's, a private anchor. Mid-toast, a rival exec cornered Jordan. Heard your old flame tanked your bid. Cozy merger, huh? Jordan's smile froze. Addison, overhearing, surged forward. That flame built Apex's pipeline. Question her vision, question mine. The man backed off, but damage lingered. Later, in a shadowed alcove, Jordan whirled.
You defended me.
Publicly. Addison pulled her close. We're in this. Together. The kiss there, amid marble echoes, sealed vows unspoken. Yet shadows loomed. Addison's father, a Boston Titan, summoned her for family alignment. Over steak and scotch, he probed. This Hayes woman rumors. Don't let sentiment cloud judgment. It's not, Addison lied, stealing. It's strategy. He eyed her, seeing cracks. Be careful, Addie. Love's a luxury we can't afford. The words echoed as she flew back, landing in Jordan's arms at LaGuardia, midnight run defied by a waiting car. He doesn't get it, Addison confessed, tears hot. Us. Jordan held her. Then we show him. Show them all. Empowerment bloomed. They pitched a joint initiative, sustainable housing for queer youth, weaving personal scars into corporate gold. Backlash came, anonymous tips to press, painting their romance as conflict. A tabloid splash. Power couple or power grab? The storm hit boardrooms. Jordan faced a vote of no confidence. Addison grilled on ethics. In closed doors, allies rallied. Mia leaking counterdossiers, exposing the rivals' dirt. Climax unfolded in Vanguard's auditorium, spotlights harsh. Jordan at podium, voice steady. I've built from nothing, loved fiercely, led honestly. If that's disqualification, then redefine success. Addison rose, joining her. Our story isn't scandal. It's strength. Horizons pivot? My push. We rose because we fell, and got up. Applause swelled, not thunderous, but genuine. Votes swung. They won. Months later, spring thawed New York. On that same Hamptons beach, now there's again. Addison knelt in sand, ring glinting, platinum band etched with compass points. Direction forever? Jordan's yes was a sob laugh, sealing with salt-kissed lips. Back in the city, their merged empire thrived, but truer victory was mornings tangled, evenings shared, love not luxury, but lifeline. In vulnerability, they found power. Two women, once divided by fear, united in truth. A chance denied became destiny claimed, proving that the heart's acquisitions outlast any boardroom win. The merger's honeymoon phase shattered like cheap crystal under the weight of reality's boot. Addison woke to Jordan's side of the bed empty, sunlight slicing through Brooklyn blinds like accusations. A note on the pillow. Early call with LA, coffee's on. Love, Jay. Simple, but the undercurrent, their first night apart since the gala, gnawed at her. She padded to the kitchen, pouring from the pot, the brew bitter as doubt. Work devoured them. Vanguard Apex Hybrid, rebranded as Apex Horizon, pulsed with innovation, but growing pains bit deep. Addison's team clashed with Jordan's Californian transplants. East Coast precision versus West Coast flow. Emails pinged like gunfire. Timeline slippage. Budget overrun. And at the epicenter, Addison fielded complaints, her loyalty torn between old guard and new flame. Lunch that day was a stolen hour at a Soho cafe, falafel wraps and forced levity. Jordan arrived windswept, tie loosened, carrying the weight of executive isolation. Boards breathing down my neck. They want quarterly miracles. Addison reached across the table, squeezing her hand under the Formica shield. We're building something real. Not miracles, legacy. Jordan's smile flickered, weary. Legacy includes us? Or just the optics? The question stung, laced with the gala's echoes. Addison pulled back, appetite lost. What does that mean? Nothing. Jordan sighed, rubbing temples. Everything. The article they're watching. One slip, and it's nepotism headlines. Addison's temper flared, hot and defensive. I'm not a slip. We're equals. I know. Jordan's voice cracked. But perception. Damn perception. Addison stood, chair scraping. Call me when it's more than PR. She stormed out, heels echoing on cobblestones, regret chasing. By afternoon, voicemails piled. Jordan's, soft please. Addison ignored, burying in spreadsheets. Mia cornered her in the ladies' room, mirror reflecting twin sets of guarded eyes. Running again? Mia's tone was gentle knife. Addison's reflection blurred with unshed tears. Protecting her. Us.
Bull.
You're scared she'll see the cracks, the ones you hide with deals and denial. Mia's words landed like truths unearthed. Addison nodded, defeated. Fix it. Grovel. Authentically. Mia hugged her, quick and fierce. You deserve this, Addie. Both of you. Evening found Addison at Jordan's door, takeout tie in hand, pride discarded like yesterday's blouse. Jordan answered in sweats, hair tousled, vulnerability raw. No words, just pulled inside, containers abandoned on the counter as lips met in apologies fire. They ate cross-legged on the floor, pad thai steaming between knees, confessions spilling like sauce. Jordan admitted fears, imposter syndrome from the acquisition, the terror of losing Addison to corporate crossfire. Addison bared her soul, the father's shadow, internalized homophobia whispering unworthiness. Equals, Jordan echoed, feeding her a forkful. Partners. In all. Nights deepened their bond, but external tempests brewed. A whistleblower email circulated, fabricated claims of insider trading tied to the Horizon deal, anonymous source pinning it on Addison's personal motivations. Panic rippled through ranks. Jordan called an all-hands, screens shared across coasts. Her presence commanded, voice a bomb. Rumors are weapons of the insecure. We've got audits, transparency. Trust the process, trust us. Addison, from her feed, felt pride swell. Post-call, she texted, You slayed. Dinner to celebrate? Jordan's reply, My place. Bring that red dress. The loft glowed with candles, jazz humming low. Jordan poured Merlot, toasting, to weathering storms. Addison clinked, eyes locked. With you? Always. Intimacy unfolded languid, exploratory. Jordan's fingers tracing tattoos of trust, Addison's breaths mapping scars of survival. Afterward, wrapped in each other, Jordan whispered dreams, a foundation for LGBTQ+ entrepreneurs, funded by their success. Addison's heart expanded. Let's make it real. But dawn's light exposed fractures anew. Addison's phone buzzed. Father again. Voicemail curt. Board's hearing whispers. Clean house or I will. She deleted it, but unease lingered. The week escalated. Press hounds sniffed, a reporter cornering Addison at a coffee run. Sources say the Hayes-Harper romance greased the merger. Comment. Addison's smile was glacial. Sources lie. Stories innovation, not gossip. She alerted Jordan, who paced the office like a caged panther. We need a counter-narrative. Joint interview. Risky. Addison hesitated. Exposes us. Or liberates. Jordan stopped, hands on hips. Hiding's what broke us before. Debate raged over sushi that night, chopsticks dueling like swords. Addison argued caution, reputations, families. Jordan pushed boldness, authenticity as armor. We're not scandals. We're pioneers. By dessert, compromise, a subtle op-ed in Forbes, co-authored, framing their story as synergy born of resilience. Words flowed late, laptops aglow, laughter punctuating edits. Submitted at 2 a.m., it felt like manifesto. Impact rippled. Shares ticked up, allies voiced support. But undercurrents swirled, a rival firm, eclipsed dynamics, poached key talent, whispers of sabotage. Suspicion fell on Victor Lang, Addison's old mentor, sidelined by the merger. Confrontation brewed in his corner office, skyline mocking his diminished view. "Victor," Addison said, door clicking shut. "The leak. Was it you?" He leaned back, cigar smoke curling like deceit. "Protecting the firm, Addie.
Your
Entanglement blinds you." Rage boiled. "It's not entanglement. It's life." She laid evidence, traced IP's motive. "Resign or we expose." He folded, resignation drafted by noon. Catharsis, but cost. Trust eroded in ranks. Jordan met her after, park bench under budding cherry blossoms. "You okay?" Addison leaned into her shoulder. "Healing. With you." Spring deepened, their rhythm syncing. Mornings jogs along the West Side Highway, breaths harmonizing. Evenings cooking, Jordan's vegan stir-fries clashing delightfully with Addison's steak preferences. Weekends escaped to the Catskills, cabin retreats where phones silenced, bodies and souls reconnected. One hike, summit view vast, Jordan knelt, not proposal but promise. Vow, no more secrets. Full throttle. Addison sealed it with a kiss, wind whipping hair. Throttle engaged. Back in the city, the foundation launched, Horizon Hearts, grants for queer startups. First event, a rooftop mixer, buzzed with hope. Young founders sharing stories mirroring theirs. Addison watched Jordan keynote, voice weaving pain into power, tears pricking her eyes. Later, alone on the ledge, Jordan joined. Proud. More. Addison pulled a velvet box, matching compass pendants. Our direction. Tears fell, joyful. But joy's shadow. Addison's father arrived unannounced, Boston flight landing like judgment. He stood in her apartment, suit crisp, eyes appraising.
this phase.
"It's hurting the brand." Jordan, sensing, appeared from the bedroom. Casual, unyielding. "Mr. Harper, the brand's thriving. Because of us." Tension crackled. He probed, paternal barbs, tradition's legacy. Addison interjected. "My legacy. Our love." He softened, fractionally. "Happiness, Addie. If it's real." A hug. Awkward but thawing. Departure brought relief, but growth. Summer scorched, their love blooming fierce. A Caribbean getaway, turquoise waters, no suits, reignited sparks. Snorkeling reefs, hands linked underwater. Beach bonfires, stories shared under stars. Return thrust them into crisis. Eclipse lawsuit, alleging IP theft from Horizon days. Depositions loomed, stress etching lines. Jordan cracked first, late-night breakdown in Addison's arms. "What if we lose everything?" Addison held firm. Weary build. Like always. Legal battles dragged, but evidence mounted. Forged docs from Eclipse. Victory in court, settlement fat, but toll deep. Recovery in quiet, therapy sessions, joint unpacking traumas. Addison confronted internalized shame. Jordan, abandonment fears. Fall returned, leaves gold. Anniversary dinner. Hampton's exact. 8 years reclaimed. Candles flickered. Waves crashed. Jordan raised glass. To chances seized. Addison smiled, heartful. To us. Autumn's chill seeped into bones, but Addison's resolve burned hotter than hearth fires. The lawsuit's dust settled, leaving scars like faint stretch marks on their empire, stronger, more textured. Apex Horizon stock soared, headlines shifting from scandal to the duo disrupting real estate. Yet private victories mattered more. Sunday brunches where Jordan's laughter filled Addison's kitchen, or quiet drives upstate, hands intertwined over gear shifts, radio crooning indie folk about mended hearts. But peace was prelude. A board retreat in the Berkshires tested metal, rustic lodge, forced team building amid pine-scented air. Addison arrived wired, Jordan serene in flannel and boots. Activities graded. Trust falls where Addison caught Jordan midair, eyes locking in wordless vows, ropes courses symbolizing overcoming obstacles, mirroring their climb. Evenings by the fire pit, More's sticky sweet, truths emerged. Colleagues shared, a VP's coming out story, echoing theirs, a tech lead's divorce, underscoring chosen families. Jordan, emboldened, spoke. Love isn't liability. It's leverage. Nods rippled, barriers crumbling. Addison, beside her, squeezed thigh under blanket. Pride swelled. This woman, her architect of audacity. Retreat's end brought a gift. Anonymous note slipped under door. Watched you too. Inspiring. A fan. Inside, a sketch. Their silhouettes against skyline, compasses intertwined. Artist? Unknown but magic. November elections loomed, national tensions mirroring personal. Protests downtown, rainbow flags waving defiance. Addison and Jordan marched, hands linked, chants fueling fire. A counter-protester's slur hit hard. Freaks. But Jordan's grip anchored. Their fear, our fuel. Home, adrenaline crashed into passion, bodies urgent, reclaiming space. You're my safe harbor, Addison gasped post-climax haze. Jordan traced lips. And you're my storm. Thanksgiving tested traditions. Addison's family gathering in Boston. First post-thaw. Father gruff but present. Mother, warm, pulling Jordan into flour-dusted hugs over pie. Siblings probed gently. Happy. Addison's nod genuine. Jordan's hand under table a talisman. Jordan's side? Smaller, chosen. Foster siblings from Cali. Video call chaotic with toasts and tears. Families who shows up, Jordan said later, curled on couch. We did. December dazzled, office holiday party, twinkling lights in the atrium. Addison in sequined black, Jordan in velvet green, turning heads. Dance floor claimed, slow sway to last Christmas. Irony not lost. Whispers faded. Cheers rose as they kissed under mistletoe, unapologetic. But Yuletide hit hooks. A package arrived. Old Hampton's photo album, anonymous sender. Pages flipped. Candids of young them, beach volleyball, sunset picnics, eyes alight with nascent love. Inscribed inside. Second chances rare. Cherish. Addison's chest ached. Who? Jordan shrugged, but eyes misted. Doesn't matter. We have this. New Year's Eve, Times Square frenzy avoided for rooftop intimacy. Champagne popped at midnight, fireworks blooming like promises. Resolution. Jordan toasted. Unbreakable us. Addison pulled close. Done. Winter gripped, but warmth bloomed internal. One mentee, Riley, a fiery 20-something with Addison's old fire, confided post-session. You too. Goals. Makes me believe. Addison hugged her. Believe. Build. Spring teased early, crocuses pushing snow. Their first joint vacation planned. Iceland. Northern Lights chasing. But work siren called. A mega deal with European investors, Dubai Summit. Prep consumed. Jet lag mocks. Presentations polished. Addison thrived in high stakes, but Jordan flagged, dark circles betraying. Sleep, Addison urged, hotel suite overlooking Burj.
Can't.
Pressure. Share it. Addison drew bath, bubbles foaming. Soak turned confessional. Jordan's fear of failure, roots in unstable childhood. You're enough, Addison whispered, soaping shoulders. Always were. Summit dazzled. Gilda halls, sheiks in thobes. Their pitch landed, contract signed amid hookah haze. Celebration. Desert safari, stars carpet overhead. Back tent, silks draping, they made love slow, sands shifting like time. Empire's ours, Jordan murmured. Yours too, Addison replied. Hearts unspoken. Return jet-lagged but buoyant. But landing brought blow. Father's health scare. Heart episode. Hospital sterile. Addison flew solo. Jordan's texts lifelines. Bedside vigil. Monitors beeping. Father frail. Proud, Addie, he rasped.
Of you.
Her. Tears fell. Love you, Dad. Reconciliation's bomb soothed. Jordan waited at gate, arms open.
How?
Healing. Addison buried face and neck. Like us. Summer sulked in humidity, but escapes beckoned. Hampton's house rented, beamed cottage, porch swing creaking memories. Days beachcombing, collecting shells like secrets, nights bonfires, guitars strumming originals Jordan penned. One twilight, waves lapping, Jordan knelt for real. Box open, diamond flanked by sapphires, eyes. Addison Harper, navigate with me? Forever. Sobs choked yes. Ring slipped on, salt stung kiss sealed.
Yes.
God, yes. News spread. Mia squealed over brunch. Board toasted discreetly. Wedding whispers began. Intimate, beachside, summer's end. But joy's underbelly eclipses revenge. Former execs sued for defamation, dredging old lies. Media frenzy reignited, paparazzi staking lofts. Jordan hardened. Ignore. Addison couldn't. Fight. Legal dance ensued, motions, mediations. Stress peaked mid-rehearsal for a charity gala, Jordan snapping at cues. Backstage clash. You're retreating. Addison accused. You're controlling. Jordan shot. Silence stretched, hurtful. Apology came via text. Coffee.
Now.
Park bench, latte steaming, truths tumbled. Scared of losing you to this, Jordan admitted. Never. Addison cupped face. Team. Gala triumphed. Jordan's speech on resilience, standing ovation. Post. Donors pledged millions to hearts. Fall foliage peaked, wedding neared. Invite sent. 50 souls, eclectic family, friends, ments. Vows crafted late, words weaving pain to promise. Ceremony day dawned perfect, sand warm, ocean serenade. Addison in lace ivory, Jordan in tailored linen, barefoot circle of loved ones. Rings exchanged, compasses eternal. I do, echoed. Kiss, cheers, waves crashing approval. Honeymoon, Amalfi Coast, cliffs tumbling to azure. Villas whitewashed, lemons scenting air. Days exploring ruins, nights terrace dinners, stars confetti. One eve, overlooking sea, Jordan reflected. From denial to this. Worth every scar. Addison entwined fingers. Our story human.
Flawed.
Beautiful. Back, life layered richer. Hearts scaled, book deal pitched. Memoir of love's labor. Father visited, toasting grandkids, adopted dreams. Years blurred, anniversaries marked with travels, empire ethical. Daughters came, too, via surrogacy, fierce mini-MES, teaching joy's simplicity. At 50, reflecting on porch swing, grandkids tumbling grass, Addison leaned to Jordan. Best deal ever. Jordan's wink, closed with a kiss. Legacy? Not boardrooms, but hearts opened, proof that denied chances birth destinies profound. Post-vow glow lingered like summer's afterimage, but marriage's rhythm introduced new cadences, harmonies sweet, discord sharp. Addison and Jordan navigated domesticity with the same tenacity they'd applied to mergers. Date nights penciled amid board meetings, compromise on thermostats like contract clauses. Their Brooklyn loft evolved, walls adorned with mentee art, shelves groaning under shared reads on queer history and sustainable design. First year tested vows. A heart's expansion to Chicago sparked Jordan's wanderlust, weeks apart straining seams. Video calls crackled with misuse, but silences spoke louder, resentments bubbling over a forgotten anniversary call. Addison flew mid-trip, surprising at a windy lakeside cafe. "No more distances," she said, handing roses wilted from carry-on. Jordan's tears watered petals. Promise kept. Reunion reignited, but growth demanded work. Couples therapy, voluntary, proactive, unpacked patterns. Addison's control from paternal programming, Jordan's independence masking abandonment. Sessions in a sunlit office, tea steaming, unearthed gems. Laughter over role-play exercises, revelations fostering empathy. Career crossroads loomed. Apex Horizon-eyed IPO, pressure mounting. Jordan, CEO helm steady, confided doubts. Public? Our life dissected. Addison, COO now, advocated. Transparency's our brand. Own it. Debate fueled fires, passionate, productive. They hired a queer PR firm, crafting narrative. Power couple pioneering authenticity. Roadshow dazzled. Investor meets where Jordan's charisma shone, Addison's data sealed deals. IPO bell rang on NYSE floor, confetti raining like blessings. Windfall brought philanthropy pivot. Hearts rebranded global, chapters in London, Tokyo. Travel bonded, safari in Kenya, witnessing lions' prides mirroring their resilience, Tokyo nights, neon-kissing temples, blending old worlds new. But fortunes flip. Personal loss struck. Jordan's mentor, a trailblazing lesbian architect, passed, cancer swift. Funeral in San Francisco, eulogy Jordan's, voice breaking on "She taught me to build bridges, not walls." Addison held her through nights, grief's raw edge. Healing in Memorials, a scholarship in her name, empowering women in design. Jordan's designs infused, structures curved like embraces, sustainable as love. Second year, family expanded whispers. Discussions over wine. Kids. Jordan tentative, scars from youth's instability. Addison eager. Ours. Chosen. Surrogacy journey labyrinthine. Agencies, ethics, hopes. First attempt failed. Heartbreak a quiet ache. Jordan withdrew, gym marathons masking pain. Addison confronted gently. Grieve with me. Support groups joined, stories shared, losses, triumphs. Second try, positive. Pregnancy announcements tearful, ultrasounds magical. Birthday chaotic, hospital rush, dawn labor. Daughter arrived, wailing fierce. Elena rose, hazel eyes like Jordan's. Holding her, Addison wept. Our miracle. Parenthood reshaped, sleep fractured, joys exponential. Elena's firsts, crawl across loft rugs, babble mama. Milestones celebrated with cake smears and cameras. Challenges compounded. Media scrutiny intensified post-IPO, tabloids twisting milestones into lavish lifestyles. A mommy wars piece pitted Addison's career against Jordan's soft philanthropy. Backlash stung. Jordan fumed over breakfast. Reduce us to tropes. Addison strategized. Counter with truth. Podcast series are unfiltered. Launched. Bridges built. Episodes raw. Parenting pitfalls. Boardroom battles. Loves labor. Listeners surged. Validation pouring. Third year. Elena toddled. Mischief incarnate. Family grew. IVF yielded son. Theo James. Addison's green gaze. Curls wild. Chaos doubled. Diapers daisy-chained. Lullabies improvised. Balance teetered. Nannies helped, but guilt gnawed. Jordan cut travel. Addison delegated deals. Date night sacred. Babysitters in. Town car to jazz clubs. Rediscovering duo. External gales. Economic dip. Horizon stocks dipped. Layoffs loomed. Decisions gut-wrenching. Jordan shouldered. Nights sleepless. Addison supported. We're navigators. Steady course. Restructured leaner, stronger. Focus on impact over profit. Critics quieted as recoveries outpaced peers. Mid-decade mark milestone. 20th reunion, college campus. Hand in hand, alumni gawked, the exes now icons. Panel shared, love's longest merger. Q&A raw, a student's query, regrets. Jordan, only time lost. Addison, now all gain. Return inspired, sabbatical planned, family gap year. Europe beckoned, Paris crepes, Elena's giggles echoing. Rome ruins, Theo's wonder wide-eyed. Challenges persisted, cultural clashes, Italy's subtle stares at intertwined hands. Jordan bristled, progress uneven. Addison, we model it. Homecoming renewed, book release, from pitch to promise. Bestseller, proceeds to hearts. Tours intimate, stories stirring souls. A decade in, silver threads in hair, lines laughter-etched. Elena, 10, prodigy artist. Theo, 8, eco-activist budding. Family dinners debate climate, equality, legacy living. One eve, porch swing, now upstate home, acres green. Jordan reflected. Denied chance? Best plot twist. Addison kiss temple. Humanities win. Love's quiet revolution. Grand scheme. Empires fade, but bonds endure. Kith, kin, kindled by two women's defiant yes. Legacies loom wove intricate now. Threads of time tangling triumph with trial. Addison, at 45, surveyed her reflection. Auburn fading to chestnut, eyes wiser, softer. Jordan, 2 years junior, mirrored. Hazel depths deeper, frame toned by yoga and youth-chasing runs. Their upstate haven, a 19th-century farmhouse rehabbed sustainable, buzzed with life. Elena's studio splashed paint, Theo's fort treehouse bound, dogs bounding chaos. Career crested. Horizon global, subsidiaries ethical. Addison helmed philanthropy arm, Jordan strategy. Synergy seamless, but board politics festered. Old guard resisting woke initiatives. Crisis brewed. Major client, conservative conglomerate, threatened pullout over hearts advocacy. Ultimatum. Tone down rainbow or lose billions. Jordan's office tempest. Sell soul. Addison mediated. Diversify. No capitulation. Negotiations tense. Lawyers circling. Stakes sky high. Compromise forged. Client stayed neutral. But precedent set. Values non-negotiable. Ripple. Industry shift. Peers emulating. Accolades flowed. Forbes cover. The unbreakable duo. Personal tides turned. Elena, teen now, navigated crushes. First girl kiss. Nerves knotted. Mother-daughter talks. Addison's stories shared. Heart knows. Listen. Jordan added. Courage's the kiss. Theo's path bent science. Climate camps. Protests. Family march DC. Signs high. Futures queer and green. Loss revisited. Addison's father passed. Quiet end. Eulogy hers. Church packed unlikely allies. Queer kin beside kin. He learned late. Loved always. Grief communal. Healing and harvest. Farm stands. Apples crisp. Midlife beckoned reinvention. Jordan pursued MFA. Designs conceptual. Structures symbolizing fluid identities. Addison blogged. Essays on love's longevity. Couples retreat. Bali. Rice terraces terracing peace. Spa days soothed, but deep dive. Bucket list. Jordan asked, lotus pose. Grandkids. Addison teased. Serious. Travel with kids grown. Volunteer. Build schools in need. Seeds planted. Elena's high school drama. Bully taunts, identity flux. School meeting, fists clenched. Jordan advocated fierce. Zero tolerance or headlines. Change sparked. GSA strengthened. Ally training mandatory. Pride. Family float. New York City parade. Theo drumming. Elena rainbow face paint. Grand martial wave. Cheers cathartic. Holiday tradition evolved. Hearts volunteer drives. Soup kitchens steaming stories. Winter's hush brought surprise. Jordan's manuscript, novel, fictionalized theirs, pitched to promise. Addison beta read. Tears spotting pages. Publish. Launch intimate. Bookstore reading. Fans queuing tales. Bestseller again. Film rights buzz. Spring's thaw. Elena college-bound. Cornell architecture. Jordan's legacy. Tearful drop-off. Dorm hugs lingering. Empty nest echoed first. Meals echoey. Beds vast. Rediscovery. Spontaneous trips. Paris Redux. Sans kids. Theo's gap year. Costa Rica. Conservation. Letters vivid. Pride parental. Decade's end. 50th birthday Addison's. Surprise gala. Farm transformed twinkling. Toasts heartfelt. Mia's roast. Elena's poem. Jordan's vow renewal. Impromptu. Ring refresh. Engravings updated. Still navigating. Summer solstice. Bonfire circle. Reflections circled. Kaleidoscope. Jordan said. Broken light. Beauty born. Addison. Our mosaic. Autumn's palette painted change. Horizon acquired smaller firm. Queer-led. Integration gentle. Growth gracious. Winter solstice. Elena announced. Girlfriend, serious. Family dinner. Welcomes warm. New Year's. Dawn hike. Snow crunching resolve. Resolutions. Theo asked. Tea now. More love. All chorused. Legacy layered. Scholarships named. Museums donated. Exhibits on women's ascent. 60th loomed. But vitality surged. Marathon training joint. Finish line crossed hands clasped. Grandkids arrived. Elena's twins, boisterous. Theo's adopted son, curious. Chaos cherished. Stories spun laps. Porch evenings. Sunset gilded. Jordan's head on shoulder. Worth denial? Addison's laugh soft. Blessed by it. Human arc. From solitary climb to communal crest. Love's light refracting infinite hues. Proof that women's bonds, forged in fire, illuminate eternities. Time's tapestry frayed edges now. Silver dominating gold in hair and hearts. Addison, 62. Moved with deliberate grace, joints protesting but spirit unbowed. Jordan, 60, radiated, sculpted by Pilates and purpose. Laugh lines mapping joy's geography. The farmhouse, expanded eco-retreat, hosted kin, grandkids' romps echoing, great-nieces painting murals. Empire transitioned. CEO mantle to Elena, COO to Theo. Third-gen stewards. Handover ceremony tear-streaked. Toasts to transitions. Retirement? Selective advisory roles. Hearts bored. Travel unchecked. Galapagos. Tortoises ancient as their bond. Machu Picchu. Ruins whispering endurance. Health's whisper. Jordan's diagnosis. Early arthritis. Hands that built aching. Addison's vigilance. Therapy pools. Adaptive designs. Loft ramps. Tools ergonomic. Caregiving flip scripts. Jordan's independence chafed. Not frail, she'd snap. Addison's patience. Fierce, always. Let me help. Therapy revisited. Elder edition. Aging spheres unpacked. Legacies them. Jordan conceded, watching grandkids garden. Addison. And us, living it. Global ripples. Hearts chapters mentored revolutions. LGBTQ plus hubs in Nairobi, Mumbai. Virtual keynotes. Voices virtual but vibrant. Family fractures mended. Estranged cousin, post coming out, sought bridge. Dinner awkward, then cathartic, forgiveness fermented like farm cider. Elena's twins, rambunctious six, queried, "How'd you meet, grandmas?" Story spun. Boardrooms to beaches, abridged for giggles. Theo's son for added magic. Jordan winked. Love's kind. Autumn equinox, milestone. 30th anniversary. Vow renewal. Intimate, beach original, sunset officiant. Rings reaffirmed, sand shifted. Winter's grip gentle, holidays hybrid. Zoom kin local feasts. Caroling with lanterns, snow soft. Spring's renewal. Addison's memoir sequel, enduring arcs. Writing's raw, aging's graces, love's evolutions. Bestseller encore, podcast pondering. Summer's heatwave tested, power outage, generators humming. Board games by candlelight, stories storied. Fall harvest festival, farm open, visitors streaming. Jordan judged pies, Addison hayrides helmed. Halloween haunt, costumes classic, Addison as CEO, Jordan once was, vice versa. Laughter liberating. Election night vigil, results tense, but family fortress. Hugs buffered blows, hopes kindled. Year's close, you'll log burning. Reflections ringed, grateful, chorused. New decade dawned, 70 beckoning. Addison's checkup, benign spots, vigilance vowed. Jordan's art exhibit, sculptures joint, themes twined lives. Opening night, gallery aglow. Critics praised, timeless intimacy. Travel tempered, cruises calm, ports leisurely. Alaska glaciers calving, metaphors for melts. Grandkids milestones, first loves navigated, advice anchored. Listen to gut, Addison urged. Follow heart, Jordan added. Great-grand on horizon, Elena's pregnancy. News joyous, nursery nested. Birth, girl, Luna, eyes starry. Holding tiny, Addison's whisper, cycle complete. Legacy lectures, universities invited, duos dynamic. Q&A's query, secret, surrender, Jordan, to each other. Addison, to time. Winter's wisdom deepened, book club queer classics, debates delightful. Spring's bloom, garden party, pollinators buzzing parallels. Summer solstice, solstice swim, lake cool, bodies buoyant. Fall foliage drive, leaves legend, stories scored. Porch perpetual, sunset symphony. Jordan, eternal chance. Addison, seized forever. Human verse, women's love, life's longest poem, stanza struggle, choruses conquer, coda compassionate. Elders embrace enveloped, 80s approaching like old friends. Addison, 74, vision specs thicker, steps slower but story sharper. Jordan, 72, cane carved custom, compass motif, swung with swagger. Farmstead sanctuary, solar-powered, hosted retreats, queer elders sharing circles, wisdom woven. Dynasty thrived, Elena's CEO, Theo VP, grandkids interning. Annual summits, generational, innovations inherited. Philanthropy peaked, hearts endowed, perpetual fund. Jordan's foundation, bridges built, spanned arts, grants for LGBTQ+ creators. Travel tales, Antarctica, penguins parading partnership. Aw's antidote to aches. Health's honesty, Addison's hip replacement, rehab rigorous. Jordan bedside, banter bolstering, dance soon. Recovery romped, waltzes wheeled, then walked. Family's fabric rich, Luna's first words, Nana, melting. Great-grand 2, boy Caspin, climber curious. Elena's divorce, partner unsupportive, coming out casualty. Support steadfast, guest room refuge, therapy tandem. Rebuild, Addison echoed past. Jordan, braver now. Theo's wedding, groom kind, ceremony coastal. Vows witnessed, toasts teary. Winter's weave, knitting circles, scarves for shelters. Yarns, yarned yarns. Spring Spark, Addison's poetry chapbook, verses veiled vows. Reading intimate, applause affectionate. Summer Serenade, Music Fest, headliners honorary, duet decades old, crowd crooning. Fall's Feast, Harvest Ball, dances deliberate. Election Eve evolved, activism advisory, youth-led. Ballots bombed by belief. Decades dance, 80s entered, vitality vowed. Addison's 90th tease, party planned. Jordan's exhibit encore, installations interactive, visitors tracing timelines twined. Opening ovation, enduring. Travel tranquil, river cruises Rhine, vineyards vintaged. Grandkids' graduations, speeches stolen hearts. Luna's query 8. Forever love? Jordan, ours proves. Addison, yours awaits. Legacy laurels, honorary doctorates dual. Commencements capped, caps confetti. Winter's warmth, hearth-hosted holidays, harmonies hummed. Spring Symphony, garden gala, blooms bowed. Summer sunset, lake lounge, loons laughing. Fall's fire, foliage framed, faces familiar. Porch pantheon, twilight tapestry. Jordan, ark's apex. Addison, heart's horizon. Human hymn, love's libretto, women's voices virtuosic, arias adversity, ensemble's empathy, finale forgiving. Twilight's tenure tendered, 90s nestled near. Addison, 86, memoirs multiple, mobility motorized, scooter-styled sleek. Jordan, 84, hearing aids humming harmonies. Sanctuary scaled, accessible paths, greenhouses grandkid gardened. Succession solidified, great-grand in turning, cycles circled. Giving graced, endowments eternal, scholarships surging. Voyages vicarious, VR vistas, stories supplemented. Health's hymn, Addison's memoir of memory, Jordan's joint joys. Family's firmament, Caspian, 10, coder keen, Luna's letters loving. Elena's rekindle, new love, nurse nurturing, union unionized, joy joined. Theo's tenure, sabbatical shared, tales traded. Winter's whisper, window watches snow, sips spiced. Spring smile, seedling sets, small hands helping. Summer's song, symphony seats, scores savored. Fall's flourish, festival founder, fiddles fun. Elections echo, endorsements elder, energy encouraged. Centennial cusp, Addison's 90th, 90 Jordans, twin triumphs. Party panoramic, farm festooned, fireworks familial. Travels twilight, train trek trans-Siberian, souls soothed. Grandkids galaxies, careers carved, confidences conferred. Caspian's curiosity, legend? Addison lived it. Jordan, loving it. Legacies light, libraries labeled, lectures lasting. Winter's waltz, woolens wrapped, wonders whispered. Spring spirit, sprouts symbolize starts. Summer siesta, shade shared, secrets swapped. Fall's farewell, fruits foraged, futures fond. Porches pantomime, dusk's duet. Jordan, symphonies swell. Addison, soul's serenade. Human heritage, women's weave, warp woof wonder, threads tenacious, patterns profound, weave wondrous.